Hey, thanks for visiting Foxedge Sessions and Music City Songstar. I'm Kathy, and we are here with an awesome singer-songwriter, Jackson Wells.
Thanks for having me at this, and thanks to
Yeah.
Music City Songstar. This is going to be great.
So tell us a little bit just how you got involved in music and how you started on songwriting.
That's a great question. So music for me was always a really big passion. From a very young age, I always loved to sing. I always loved to be a part of it. And I actually got involved in songwriting because a songwriter reached out to me after a performance and said, hey, you're a really good performer. Have you thought about writing songs? And
wow.
I was 13 years old and I wrote my first song, and I got hooked on it, and I started doing more of it in my room and just, in private moments. And then I kind of realized, like, if I really want to take this seriously, I had to write my own music. And so it sort of ballooned out into this, this decision where I said, I'm going to make this a career. I'm going to make the conscious choice to go after it. And it's been great ever since.
Wow. And so where were you when the songwriter heard you, and how did that?
So originally I'm from Los Angeles. I'm actually not from Nashville. I moved here from LA. I guess that is really surprising. A lot of people move to Nashville to come for music.
Right.
But I actually moved because my family had to relocate for a job.
Okay.
But originally I was in LA for about 8 years. And so I kind of had a big background in pop and rock over there. And so I was very used to writing pop and rock. And when I moved to Nashville, I ended up going to Belmont University and studying songwriting. So I learned to kind of more write country and Americana and kind of learn those a little bit more too. So it's been an absolute blast.
Wow. So it kind of worked out that even though you didn't move to Nashville for your music, you ended up going to school in one of the best schools for music. So that was really the best of both worlds.
I was about to say, it couldn't have worked out better for me because I really enjoyed my time at Belmont. I had great professors like Drew Ramsey and James Elliott, who were just amazing.
Yeah.
And I couldn't be more thankful for the fact I got to be in Nashville and work in Nashville.
Did you play guitar?
I actually didn't start playing guitar until I moved to Nashville. That was the funny thing. I didn't play
Okay.
any musical instruments until I was about 16,
Okay.
which was a big shock for my parents and for me. I didn't think I was ever going to be capable of doing it. And I had a great mentor actually in Nashville called Kurt Stowe,
Oh, cool.
who has been an absolute inspiration to me on guitar and one of the best teachers I ever had as far as his passion for music, introducing me to more music as a songwriter. I ended up learning about Tom Petty from him and a bunch of great rock bands and stuff that I'm so thankful as a songwriter today that he introduced me to.
Wow. And it sounds like your parents were really supportive. I think some people would say, like, parents might freak out a little bit if they...
I am, in the best way, I am stunned at how supportive they are.
Wow. That's amazing.
Not because of they're not amazing people, they are, but like you said, there's a lot of parents, unfortunately, who may feel music is a big career risk or, a very dangerous proposition. But I think there's a real comment there. If you go after something with full intention, it's worth it. I think it's absolutely worth it. My parents have been behind me since day one. I think the one deal they joke with me is they wanted me to get a college degree, which I've done, and now I'm actually wrapping up my master's degree, so that helps out too. And it's been a wild ride, but it's been absolutely fantastic.
Speaking of wild rides, so you kind of started down this path of going to China.
I
and
did.
How did that come about?
So one of my kind of secret little passions I had, besides music in high school, middle school, was I took Chinese. And I started in LA, and I started learning it and learning how to speak it. And I was going originally at 17 years old to go over and teach Chinese students English for about a month. And in the city of Chengdu. And
when you were in high school?
Yes, at 17 in high school.
That's amazing.
And right before I was supposed to go, the organizer of the trip, a good friend of mine now named Dr. Charles Lee, contacted me and said, hey, listen, there's this music festival in Chengdu called the Youth International Music Festival. We really like you to be a part of it and represent Nashville. And I kind of assumed it was a small coffee shop gig. I mean, I wasn't really told much. And I arrived, and it was the biggest crowd I ever played for about 500 people. And I was stunned.
Oh my
and I was
gosh.
there holding my guitar with a white t-shirt and jeans. To be fair, my style hasn't changed much. I'm still wearing a great t-shirt and jeans. But it was a huge experience for me. And it sort of ballooned from this, high school kid, just playing my songs in China to now. We still play the same festival, funny enough. This will be my 6th or 7th year playing it. Coming up at 2018, and it's gone from 500 to now thousands of people come, which is great. And elsewhere, I played from a university, and we've had about 10,000 to 9,000 people come out and do these big festivals, and it's been just a wild ride in the best of ways. The fans there are just amazing, and so passionate about music, which we don't realize being on this side of the pond, just how passionate the Asian market is about music. And it's such a great experience to be there and to be a part of it.
Well, and you also speak Chinese, right?
I do.
So that must be, they probably, when they look at you, they probably don't think that you speak Chinese. So when you
start... To be fair, when most people look at me, they don't think I speak Chinese. I don't exactly fit the mold.
But that is amazing. I mean, because that's really a gift to them. And I bet that really draws them into your music
more. You know, it's as much as it's a gift to them, it's a gift to me as far as their involvement. One of the coolest things is we are able to, as songwriters, to put songs in English and Chinese, and that's been a great experience. And to have the audience in both countries being able to sing along and be a part of it, especially in China, they love to sing along, and that's one of the most goosebump moments for any songwriter or singer, is to have someone singing your songs that isn't you and sing it back to you, and that's such an amazing feeling. And I've been very humbled and blessed to be part of that.
That's so great. So it really is kind of a collaboration, partnership. That's just really...
It is. It's really a Chinese-American partnership, because we've been touring there for 5 years, so we now understand the audience better. We understand what they want. Yeah. And at the same time, though, it's still very true to Nashville. It's true to, you know, many of the precedents we set for the Songstar songwriting contest, as far as it's good music, it's well written, there's the melody, the hook, it's all the exact same. It's just the language changes, and there's a real joy in that we get to bring that Nashville edge to, you know, cities like Chengdu, Hangzhou, Shanghai, Beijing. It's just amazing to be a part of.
Yeah, well, I know firsthand because I played at the Bluebird Cafe, an acoustic listening room with you, and it is seamless and amazing how you can just start singing, you're singing in English, and then you transition to Chinese, and it takes you a second. You're like, wait, is he switching languages? What is he? It is so cool. But could you do a little bit of that, and kind of how does that work? Like, did that take a lot of time to learn that, or?
So it takes a little while. So the cool thing, a little music business insight, the cool thing about doing songs in Chinese is if you're a songwriter and you write a song and you want it to be in a different language, you don't actually lose the copyright if you translate it. In fact, no writer's copyrights are violated when it happens. The translator can be paid a flat fee, and there's no issue with that, which is fantastic. Thankfully, I don't have to pay someone because I speak Chinese, and I have a very good friend of mine who is my mentor in Chinese, Dr. Jenny Sun, who she's amazing, one of the most amazing people I've ever met. I call her my second mom. She's an amazing woman, and she and I will sit there and workshop the songs and make sure it fits as far as lyrical delivery and the syncopation and timing. And it's the idea is to make it as seamless as possible. And so when you hear me go back and forth on the song I'll be playing called Closer, you hear the changes pretty fast. But the cool thing too about Chinese, which you don't think about when you're writing, is the double meaning. So this song I'm actually going to play, Closer, is originally a love song I wrote for the American market, talking about that moment if you're, you know, with someone and you hope they like you back and you don't know, and it's this kind of limbo stage, and you're just hoping that they get closer so you can, you know, figure it out and get to be with them. But in China, it takes on a whole new meaning, because we use Closer as a way to get the audience to literally come closer to us and to come up to the stage, because they're very respectful of our space there. They're very concerned that we...
So they stand far back?
About 50 to 100 feet as a respect thing. And
there's no fences.
There's no fence. They just do that as a respect thing, because they're not trying to freak you out. And it's a way for us to tell them politely and to invite them into the experience. And it's such a cool thing to be a part of in that moment. And that's one of the cool things about going both languages, is we can kind of play off that in multiple ways.
That's amazing. Well, play us some.
All righty. I've been waiting for a night like this, tell you something, maybe steal a kiss, steal a kiss. Getting closer to more exit signs, the moment slipping away, running out of time. So I'll try just a little to get closer to you. If you slide to the middle, I know you wanna get我要分离，哪怕只有一天，为了更靠近你。如果你悄悄来到中央，我知道你也想靠近，靠近。All right.
Wow, that is so great. That is
Thank
so,
you.
It really takes a second to think, I think he's speaking in a different language. That's so
Well, it's
cool.
fun too because it's you know, the reason why I did it like that is so you guys can tell it's the same exact words. You know, the English version you hear of, you know, try to get closer, it's the exact same thing in Chinese, the exact same meaning.
And do you worry about rhyme or how does
No,
that
actually, that's a really cool thing about Chinese. So it's more kind of like slam poetry or written poetry where we aren't worried about someone just AABB rhyme scheme or trying to make it work.
Right, right.
We can kind of say what we mean because Chinese
What a
doesn't necessarily
concept.
rhyme. What a concept, I know. What concept, we don't have to worry about rhyming.
Yeah.
But it's a very cool moment that we get to just sort of speak our minds openly in that language and not worry about, you know, oh, does it rhyme and does it come out there? It's a very different style of writing.
Right.
You got to focus on the meaning more than sometimes here we have to focus on, is it commercial? Is it viable in that sense? Is it clever?
But I love that because that really should be the essence of songwriting, is to focus on the meaning and not worry about all the other things.
I've
out
always
there.
said, I
love
always
that.
think the meaning, if you put the meaning first, the other things will come.
Yeah.
I think it's a mistake that amateur songwriters make, that they think it's got to be really clever and mix and match. And my biggest thing, some of the best songs I've heard are not songs that are, rhyme.
Right.
They're songs from the heart. And I think it's where you got to
true.
start.
And that's great advice. And do you have any other advice, like for our Music City Songstar listeners? And a lot of them are, working on their craft as writers, and a lot of them have been doing it for a while. And you've experienced a lot of
Absolutely
different things.
I think one of my biggest pieces of advice I could give, if you're a songwriter and you've entered this contest, or you're seeing this video and you're wondering about entering this contest, to be honest, the contest isn't the biggest thing. Is winning it, as great as it is, shouldn't be your main focus. The best way I've learned to get better and better and better as a songwriter and performer is critique. And I would honestly tell you, you'd be surprised how much you'll grow in 6 months if you take critique and put on your belt, and you come back in 6 months and you get more critique and you put on your belt and you keep going. I would just, my biggest advice is continue to strive to get better. And the way you could do that, in my opinion, is listen to others' advice and take it seriously. And the great thing about this program is you have a chance to. You have a chance, like people like Kathy, who have been around Nashville and played the Bluebird so many times I can't even tell you. I played with you in that round. And the amount of advice you can get here is serious professional advice, and I think it's very rare, and it's a very cool opportunity. So I would just keep taking it, is all I could give.